Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the professor. I am not a licensed financial advisor, so please seek the advice of someone you trust before you try to emulate anything on this video. This is a re-release of a video that was lost in early of 2025 this year, stating basically the 10 most important rules to make a living day trading. So we're re-airing this in its entirety. So if you saw that video before, I wanted to put out full disclosure, you may not want to rewatch it, but it has been lost and I keep getting asked these same questions. So here it is. We will be re-releasing it with its intro and everything in its entirety.
Welcome to Day Trading for Success, where the professor, a former math teacher turned full-time trader, guides beginners on how to trade for a living using proven strategies, breakthrough indicators, and lessons from essential trading books. The professor isn't a licensed financial advisor. Always consult a pro before diving into any strategies or demos you see here. Start smart, practice in a simulator, stick to a solid day trading plan, and don't forget to log every trade. Your profits will start with preparation. Thank you for allowing us to share in your journey. Please remember to subscribe, comment, give a thumbs up, and click that notification bell so you can be the first to receive more of our great content.
Hello, everyone. This is the professor. Today, we're going to be talking about the 10 most important rules to make a living day trading. So this is our first episode of season 14 and the overall episode of 313. So I hope you enjoy it. We're going to have a lot of different helping tools to follow along with these rules to help you switch from a beginner to a pro trader. So this should touch on most of the problems traders are having if you follow these 10 rules. So why don't we just get right into it? So we're going to start with rule number 1, make and follow a day trading plan. So this is really the hardest thing it's the most simple thing, but yet the hardest thing for traders to follow. And if you've been trading, you kind of know what I'm talking about. You feel like when you're in the middle of a trade, you don't really need to follow it, that you've got a beat on what's going on, and you just need to maybe add a little to your share size so you're in a better position and you can get out or whatever it might be. But depending on what stage you are in trading, if you're just starting, we're going to get into a layout here in just a minute. But rule number 1 is to have a plan. And I put it first because it really is the most important rule. And here's an example of a plan that you could have. I mean, it's basically, these are in a lot of the books. I'll be showing you different books that have these, but you could just write these down on a piece of paper or create one yourself. But basically, you'd probably want to specify the trading hours you want to trade with. What is your entry share size or your minimum or maximum share size? What is the minimum profit per trade, maximum profit per trade, your daily goal, your max loss per day, and then your notes. Mostly center on the max loss per trade, max loss per day, and then keep notes. But I would highly recommend you log, but we'll get into that a little bit more too. So this is just an example. You would fill one out. Now you might change it from day to day, depending on the stocks that you trade. But guys, this is the number one thing that you have to do that most traders have every intention of doing, and then they don't follow it once you put it down. So you have to make it, and then you have to follow it. Now, if you make it and it seems like it's not right for you, then adjust it. But making a day trading plan and following it, that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, understand your layout. And so import the custom indicators you need for your strategy. So let's talk about that a little bit. So this is a Thinkorswim layout, and I will make this layout available for you. So if you just look under the show more, you can copy the link and then bring it into your setup over here, and then under the open shared item, you press Control V, and then you would preview and import, and it will come in. So you always want to make sure that you don't press the link that's under the show more to get this layout. You just want to highlight it, copy it, and pull it in. So anyway, now you'll get this layout, but you won't get any of the custom indicators. So you'll get the way it's all laid out, which is a great start if you want to do this. Now, this is a little advanced. It's a little complicated, and that's why the whole point of rule number 2 is to understand your broker's platform that you're trading on. I like Thinkorswim. A lot of other people use different ones. I'm sure you've seen, and maybe you have a different one, but you need to understand it. So watch a tutorial video about how to build it. I know I have a lot on this channel about how to do Thinkorswim, but if you do whatever you're using, watch a tutorial about how to use it so it can be set up for your style of trading exactly. I mean, I have here a 1 minute chart. Down here is a day chart, which I use a lot with an ATR attached to it. And then I have the active trader up here, and then I have your level 2. This is a 15-minute chart to help me follow along. 1 minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, and then with the MACD over here, I have another 5-minute, and then a 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour, all reduced. I have these charts here and reduced and kind of off to the side because I'll use them for different strategies. Like this is a 5-minute on a 2-day time frame, and this is a 5-minute on a 10-day time frame. So it helps me set up the different strategies. So if you follow along with some of the strategies that I trade here, you'll know why this is so important. Excuse me. So today is a Saturday, so we're not trading here in the studio, but typically there's a lot of action going on, and Charlie's here handling. She handles all the chat. You hear all the typing and stuff. But this is just getting you this video out, so to help some of you traders that aren't used to following rules and what rules you should follow and what are the most important ones to follow. So inside this chart, if you touch on the studies and the beaker here, right, you can see what I have here. I usually trade with the 9 and the 20 moving averages, the VWAP, and then I have these custom indicators which will not be here when you have it. But over here, these are all the ones that you can get with Thinkorswim. You type in what you're looking for, and you now see some of these might be ones that I have in here because I am a coder for Charles Schwab Thinkorswim. So, but I mean, most everything is, again, these are all for day trading for success. This might confuse you, but pretty much any indicator you want, they're going to have for free. I know because I do a lot of them, and there's a lot of them for free on this channel. And we'll get into where you can find those. And then there's a bunch that you can just buy, or there's a special way to get them for free, which I'm going to tell you about. Like every one I have here, you can pretty much get for free with a little trick I'm going to show you. So anyway, so stay tuned for that. But knowing your platform, knowing what you want on your platform to trade. I am a scalper, but I also do swing trades, but that's really important, and that was rule number 2. Rule number 3 is learn to trade in a simulator. So when you first open Charles Schwab, this is kind of what comes up here, and then you'd switch to paper money. All right, then it kind of changes color and everything, and that's what that looks like. And then when you do change to paper money, let me get this off of here. This is rule number 3. This is what your layout will look like, right? It'll open up like this, and then it's going to trade a few. I don't know how many minutes. It's like maybe it's just a few seconds behind, but you figure out how to exactly follow how to lay this out and trade in a simulator and get profitable before you would ever think about trading live. You want to trade in a simulator. Now, a lot of people complain that the Thinkorswim simulator here. Now, you should have a simulator for whatever platform you're on, and hopefully it's a good one. Thinkorswim actually has 2 different ways you can trade to learn. Now, one of the ones is on demand, which is usually stuff that like myself and other traders will use a lot for back testing. But if you just click that button, on demand will open up. You can set a date you want to trade and a time you want to trade, and then you can learn on this too. And this is going to move a lot faster. It's just not current action like the other simulator is. But anyway, it's so important to follow that rule and to learn to trade in a simulator before you go live. So that's rule number 3. Those are the 3 most important rules so far. Rule number 4 learn one specific strategy and what stocks to trade with when following it. So now you'll hear a lot of people and you'll see a lot of videos about what you should do this. You'll say one stock, one ticker, once a week and all this. And that could work. I mean, I traded Apple a lot in just Apple for a long time when I got into doing this style of trading. But I've been trading a long time, so I don't want to misrepresent much. But so yeah, I mean, so you can do. There's all kinds of strategies, and we're going to talk about those a little bit. Now, I really push the strategies from the $1 Million Margin Club, and that's what we trade on this channel a lot. And the reason I like those is because they're study guides. And I have links to all of them here. And I will get, if you buy from that link that I have here, it takes you to Amazon or to their website. Amazon gives me a small percentage, so it helps this channel, and that's how I get any kind of an affiliate. But I don't put them up there for the few pennies I get. What I put them up there for is because I truly believe in their strategy. So why don't we go into a couple of them here, like this one. Day Trading Volume 1 came out in March, and this is about the RV strategy. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about how this strategy works. The $1 Million Margin Club has their own channel. It's $1,000,000-Margin Club. They actually have a video that shows every page of this if you didn't want to buy the book. I recommend buying it, but just so you have it, because you want to have it with you when you trade. That's what's so cool about it. But this has made so many successful traders. Last year on this channel, we traded this a lot. And this is the first video for 2025. And so many people made so much money and are making a living. So that's why, and this is based on a large cap, range-bound strategy for a large cap, which I've never seen a strategy out there that does that before. It was developed for beginners, and it's a really good strategy. Now, they came out with a companion book, too, which is basically just more log sheets, because you really should be logging. We're going to go into that again in a minute. But they came out with that book for that strategy. Then the next book that they put out is not so much a strategy, but learning your candlestick patterns. And this is the only book that has them rated, so I highly recommend that too. Then they did another one that's just all about puzzles and games. It's all about if you go through this whole book and do all their tests and challenges and games, you're going to know your patterns. Knowing your patterns is a pretty important way to becoming a successful trader. I'm not going to go through every book they have. This is the last one I'll go through. Day Trading Volume 4 came out just near the end of, the middle of 2024. And this is the first book that I've seen that has a comprehensive, detailed strategies on how to trade the open, and to make it actually safe to trade the open. And it was released to huge fanfare. It was beta tested for quite a long time, and I highly recommend this book too. Many people just trade this every morning and make all they need to make within the first few minutes, just following this simple strategy. And you can read the comments on this channel to see that, but also read the reviews on the book. Amazing reviews, and the book's just amazing. And then they came out with and this will be the last one, the companion book to that, which is Day Trading Volume 4's companion, which includes the Holy Grail, and the fifth strategy. They have 4 strategies in the Day Trading Volume 4, the first book, and this has the 5th strategy, all based on breakout ranges. Really important. What's cool about this is, though it says trading the open, this 5th strategy is designed to trade all day long, which is kind of cool. So having a good strategy, and then whatever strategy you're trading with, making sure it has the scanner settings like all those books do to find the right stock to trade. And in those books, particularly Day Trading Volume 1, which is kind of like the Bible for traders, it has scanner settings you could use for large cap, set to figure out. And they base their even the breakout range on Day Trading Volume 4 is a lot on ATR levels, and which is the average true range of a stock. So anyway, so that was number 4. know a strategy, find a strategy, and learn the strategy after you've done the first three most important things. So number 5, keep your share size low. Now, this is when you're trading live, so you are never nervous to hold your position. So I just made a great video about this near the end of the year. Let me show you that. That's this one. And this one is Why Pros Have Nerves of Steel, Day Trading Secrets from the Professor. So this basically tells you why trading, having a low share size is why you can have nerves of steel. So I won't talk about the whole video. I recommend just watching this. But one of the things that's it's so important is when you're nervous and your heart's beating and everything like that, you don't make good decisions. You don't follow your day trading plan. You get emotionally hijacked. Before you know it, you're in what they call trader rehab, or you've blown your account or whatever, or you're just afraid, you're terrified to trade. So many people get beaten up early on. First, you go in with all this confidence. I saw that guy do it, and I can do it. It's so simple. You just push this button when this candle turns green, and you might do well at first, which is the kiss of death, right? You might do well. You might be making money, and then you get really bold. You put more share size in because it was so easy last week or the week before or last month that you think you can keep doing it, and then suddenly you've lost your entire account, $25,000 or something, and you don't understand what happened. And I think it happens to a lot of traders if they're a little bit successful in the beginning. So it's terrible to be successful before you really understand the ramifications of not being successful. So it's good to go slow and to understand and to feel, why are you having a problem? Why are you so nervous? And it usually comes down to your share size is too high. And that is the secret. Now, here's the thing. You want to make a lot of money, right? You want to make money as quick as you can. You kind of need to turn that off, because what happens is you cumulatively get a lot of money before you realize what happened. Even if you start at $50 a day that you made, you should be just cheering if you can do that for a month. That's incredible. If you could do $50 a day and you're new for a month straight, or you have maybe 5 bad days and 15 good days or whatever. I mean, no, you can't make a living with $50 a day. You can help a little bit with some payments and stuff, but you're creating, a track for you to continue to go forward. So you really need to figure out where it is that you can trade, whether it be 20 shares, 10 shares, 5 shares, 1 shares, where you can follow the rules and not really care. And the video goes into that in a lot more depth, but I don't mean like, I don't care. I mean, you don't care if you lose the money. Another book that I link that's not from the $1 Million Margin Club is Trading in the Zone from Mark Douglas. And I highly recommend that book. And he goes into the probability of winning and losing a lot, and how you have to assume you're going to lose. And can you take like 20 losses in a row and you're okay with it? If you're losing $200 a trade, you're certainly not going to want to lose 20 trades in a row. So you have to look at it that way, and you have to understand that even though everything in your strategy says this trade's going to work, all the indicators say this trade's going to work, it still might not work. So it's and it's highly likely that it won't work. So you have to always assume that and follow your day trading plan for max loss. But again, the secret of trading like a pro and not being nervous is finding that share size where you could lose, get to your max loss for the day, and just go, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll be okay with that for like 20 days straight. I mean, you're not going to feel great about it, but you don't want to be nervous about it. So anyway, I think that's really one of the most important rules, is rule number 5, which was, the actual title was, keep your share size low. So that was rule number 5. And then we're going to get into rule number 6. We're going to breeze right through these here. Now, I've already touched on this a bit, but this is the entire reason this channel started a year and a half or 2 years ago, how long it's been, time flies, but was that I was giving just indicator lessons and things about what I saw, how to read the volume profile. That's my first video way back when. And you can see it's kind of funny, although not that I've improved too much, but anyway, I really wanted people to log. From the people, I could not believe the people that I traded with. And then when I started to do videos, how many people didn't log at all. This is so important. And to show you an example of what I mean, this is a log sheet from one of the books that I just showed you. This is must be Day Trading Volume 1. Or I don't know. It's about the ATR. This actually has a rating. Yeah, this is the RV stock. So this is Day Trading Volume 1, like a typical log sheet. But you want to get a log book, and I'll have a link to just the first one that I helped publish way back when, before I sold it into the $1 Million Margins Club. Now I'm not involved in publishing books. But this is what you're looking for. This has ATR, so you could use this. But basically, you really want to have your quantity of shares, what happened, did you buy or sell, what was your entry price, what was the exit price, what was the profit and loss. So like there's a simple log book that I have a link to that shows that without these channel range, because this is specific for the RV strategy. So you don't really want to, if you're trading that, then this is perfect for what you need. But the symbol, the quantity of shares, the price, your entry price, exit price, profit and loss, keep track. And then what happened? Why did you do that? Your thought process. I learn a lot better being a former math teacher. I always, of course you can't, I was showing things before the advent of everybody had a calculator in their hand. But I mean, writing things down, it gets it, in your memory better. Now, maybe a lot of people that works with typing. I just don't think anything beats having your logbook next to you with your records, being able to look at them each day before you start. And then, I don't mean every page, obviously, but particularly following certain stocks along, and you can look back and say, why did I, what happened with that the last time I traded Apple or Nvidia or Tesla or whatever, and keeping track. So I really think this is a vital lesson number 6, logging. It's a must. You really need to do it. Now let's go right into rule 7. So follow the news and understanding the market. So now this really matters a lot more depending on what are you trading. Are you trading something like large caps? Where yes, the news is important, or are you trading momentum stocks where the news is really important because that's how come they're ripping a certain direction, if you're trying to catch them short or long. And I'm getting into a little bit more beyond beginner talk here a little bit, but there's a lot of channels that have that show you about momentum trading, and I'll give you my 2 cents on that. It can be really profitable to do that. It really can, but you can also lose a lot of money very quickly. So when I started this channel and got together with other traders, we wanted to develop and show strategies that were safe first before making you the most money. So you can still make a lot of money trading large caps, which is what I focus on, and you don't need a lot of money to do it, which is a misnomer. It's not something that you have to have. But there's a lot of traders out there that show you momentum trading that are very good at it. I mean, like legitly good people showing you how to do that, they market and market and market their stuff. And then it looks like you can do it too. And some people can. So from their point of view, it's like they're not going to not show the advantage to the people that might be really good at it, but a lot more people can't do that. And it's just, there's so many skills that have to be brought in that are a little bit different than the slower paced large cap. So I know a lot of people that I also trade momentum. So to be full disclaimer, I have different platforms and I do still to this day do that type of trading. I don't like the feel of it as much, and it is the only. I like to get excited about trading. So you can say nerves of steel can mean, you don't want to get nervous. In some ways, trading momentum is the only thing that really gets my blood going, that makes me excited, and I want to feel excited. I want to take a chance. I want to, I really want to do that sometimes, but it's not the best thing to put money in your bank account, is to want to chase that feeling of adrenaline rush. It's not the best plan. Instead, it'd be better to be calm, meditate, have a routine in the morning, and do that. But as far as the news goes, for they have the news. Well, this is if you open up the news over here, it's going to show you this little. You can open up news here, and then really what you just make sure I wanted to make sure none of my account was showing there. And then you can detach it and it'll open up and it'll be something like this. And then you can click on and read the different stories. But these are going to click through the time of day as quickly as now. I have a bunch of news services, but I mean, this one's free on the platform. I think most platforms will have it. And they're going to have all kinds of news that you can follow. And really, before you get in, if you're going to trade a certain stock for the day, you should at least have this up somewhere or read the most current news on it. So that you're not making a mistake, and it will help you decide whether you want to go long or short. And you might want to switch stocks, because the idea of trading large caps, like what I talk about a lot, is they move sideways, and then you're taking advantage on them moving sideways. You can kind of, for the most part, count on them staying within a certain range, and that's what those strategies books go into, other than the open strategy book. But you like them to be in a certain range where it's very, very safe for you. So that was that number 7? Yeah, okay, so that was number 7. So now we're going on to number 8. We're almost there, guys. Number 8, practice and understand how to read your custom indicators. So let's go through that a little bit more. Actually, I'm going to X that out there. So now I have a lot of custom indicators here, and let me show you where we can get, let me talk to you about a couple things. So this is the $1 Million Margin Club's website. Okay. And on there, besides having their books, you can go find all the books I just talked about getting, they have these scripts. So this is new. I haven't seen that before, but I guess I'll accept. I can get that sign out of there. That's so they can file their analytics. But they have the market magnet, the multi-time alignment, the scalping indicator, the buy-sell oscillator, the momentum directional indicator, the day trading dashboard, the whole and half dollar, the prayer indicator, and the power of the force indicator. There's the scalping. Yeah, I did say that. Okay. So those are all their indicators. Now, typically those are all for sale, but I'm going to tell you how you can not pay for these right now, which is something that they've got going on. And then I'll tell you about these indicators. Now, you don't have to have any of these indicators to trade, to make a day trading plan, to follow any of the steps that I've shown you. You don't need any of these. I just want to be very clear about that. Do they help? Yes, I believe so. They help. And a little edge is what you're looking for to try to make money. Any kind of edge you can get, which is following all these 10 rules I'm putting out, reading, studying, watching other, as many videos as you can watch, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, is really what you should be doing. But right now they have a deal going that if you have already purchased, or if you do purchase any of their books and you just send them in a review, then you get that, like a verified review on Amazon that you bought their book, then they will give you a free script of your choice. And they'll give you a free script for every book you review. So you can technically get all the scripts for free. So you have to buy a book. So I guess they're not really free, but if you've already bought the book, they are now. And the scripts are the price of the most expensive book they have. So if you want the script, it just makes more sense to buy the book, and then you get the script for free. So now I don't know how long they're going to have that deal on, how long this video is going to be around, but I think it's going to be a long time. I was completely community share and was giving all these away for free. And then they kind of talked to me about how they really wanted to get the publishing company going. So they started to purchase these, but pretty much all the scripts that I used to have for free, and I still have a whole bunch for free. I'm constantly creating new scripts for Charles Schwab Thinkorswim platform, and that's what I exclusively do. So you can look for those for free here, and we'll talk about how you can get where you can find those on this site right here for free. But I wanted to make sure I brought that over to show you about what were we on, 8 here? Yeah, to now let's talk about the indicators themselves. So those indicators that I just had up there, and I'm just going to go into this briefly. This is one of the versions of the day trading dashboard, which is pretty cool. It has the current volume, the previous volume, the buy percentage, the sell percentage in the candle, what the bid is, the ask is, what the spread is. Now that's not what this is a different indicator over here. So that's pretty handy to have that right across the top of your screen at all times. That's one of the indicators they have. The other one here is the multi-chart alignment. Now, early on in my videos, you'll talk about the, how do you get the perfect entry? What are you looking for to enter? What is one of the main things that professional traders will look at to enter into a trade? And one of them is they want to look at what the other charts look like, because I'm trading on a 1-minute chart right here, right? And but other people only trade on 5-minute charts, and some other people only trade on 10 minutes or 15-minute charts or 30 minutes or 1 hour. So what this does, there's one over here too. What this does is it tells you what did those candles close, up or down. The 5-minute closed down, you can see here. The 15-minute was up, the 30-minute was down, the 1 hour up, the 4 hour up. So over that time period, some people will only take trades right at those times. And these little vertical lines are showing every 5 minutes, like when did those candles close? Because people will wait that trade on those time increments to go in or out at those times. So every 5 minutes you can see, hey, are we coming up to, is it just the 5-minute chart? Because I used to say it's so important, and I still do, so important to see what are the 5-minute traders doing, when you're looking at the small 1 minute. What are they seeing? Because you may see the little move in between and not see the bigger move. You can get lost in these little moves and not realize that the real play, you could get lost here and not realize we're on an upward trend with a little pullback, So, you need to, that's what the 4 hour and the 1 hour will tell you that. So having this up on the chart and then showing it here with the increments is so, so helpful. This is what I believe is one of the most important indicators that you should get. So I would get that. And then down here, now you don't need to get these things. You can open those charts and see all that information. So I am promoting something because I think it's easier for you, but I just want to make sure there's another way to do all this. You don't have to do it, like I said. So now this is the scalping indicator, and this is one of the first indicators that I made available outside of Charles Schwab Thinkorswim, that is a custom one. So this is the inside. Here's all the buyers, this green line, and these are all the sellers, this red line, and then this column represents the volume. This will tell you we're on pre-market close. I mean, we're closed right now, so nothing's moving. But this will show you the percentage in the moment, what's happening inside the candles, and then the current and the last volume. So you kind of keep a track of those as it's going along. There's a whole bunch of different ways to read this. You can read the patterns of the volume columns. You could read the pattern within the columns of the green and red and get an idea. Or you could read right in the moment of the actual momentum, which is what I mostly do. And the way I read these is like, if this didn't make it, even though the sellers won there, they didn't make it to the top. So I would have assumed they won't be as strong on the next. And that's what happened. And then they didn't make it to the top. And I'm going to assume that they're not going to be as strong. Well, here they actually lost out. And then the buyers were right at the top. So this actually turned around without evidence that it might turn around. But this is just one of the things that you look for. So when you see these moving at a rapid speed, like it was going down like this, you would see these climb. Look, 50%, 80%, 90%, 100%, right? And it's like you're on top of a surfboard and you're waiting for that wave to come, and then you jump on and catch that short-term move. This is just a 1-minute candle. So this is a certain kind of trader, that would use this on large caps. It works, and you can jump on for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. And then when you start to see these numbers waver, you realize that your move's almost done and you get off. All right, so that's, you jump out of the move. So you're not trying. This is really good for short-term trend, meaning 5 seconds to 20-second trends. I mean, it might just keep going, but I mean, you just want to utilize it for those short moves and get in and out. So this is really, if you like to trade that way, there's a lot of money can be made that trading that way, but learning how to use the indicator, and I have lots of videos about this. It's so important because this is right. This isn't just observing to make your trade. This is like right in the moment. So this is a really good one. Now you'll see some others here. This is the buy-sell oscillator right here. So if we go in here, we have the market magnet to talk about, the buy-sell oscillator, and then the half and whole dollar. So we talked about the multi-time alignment. I showed you the dashboard, and then you have the scalping indicator here somewhere. Down here, yeah, scalping indicator, because it's below the chart, right? So let's talk about some of those others. So this, I should just cancel. Let me get into making this a little bit bigger for you guys. So it's very, when you don't blow up the chart closer to you, it can look really, really busy with all the stuff that I have. But let's do this so we can see this buy-sell oscillator. So the buy-sell oscillator, this candle lights up prior to the next candle opening, right? So it's telling you with a crossover what is going to happen. And this utilizes the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. So this is one that I programmed myself, coded myself, and it is accurate. We have found it to be accurate about 70% of the time. So let's take a look. Here it said the price action was going to turn around. It did. Here it said it was, but it didn't. Here it said it was. It kind of did, but then it didn't overall. And then that one's wrong too. Not a good example. But this one's correct. It turned around, right? Oh, well, let's look at the other ones too. It was going down. This said this was going to turn it up here, right? Do we have other green arrows here? That's pre-market. This one said it was going to turn around, turned around. You know, so it's going, they're back and forth here. But I mean, it's one more thing to show you, one more indicator to show you potential ways the price action might move for you. This one was right. I mean, these are right also. They just didn't close right. It's like you had a brief period of time that it went the other way. And, that's how you have to read these as a short term. You don't want to read these and say, oh, this is going to go down for 5 candles. I mean, it did, end up going down, but then, and then the next one went further. And this one did too, from the arrows, right? But it's meant to be read as a short term, but you can see they're pretty accurate here for the most part. Well, around 70%. Now remember, you can't count on anything. That's why you can't even count on the 70%. I'm just going. But I use this. It's right up there in my top tier indicators. One of the ones that's not here, actually, I don't see it on here. Let's see, is the momentum directional one. So this is another one that will predict the momentum, and this actually has an alarm that goes off. Now you're going to see this be 100% accurate, because what it's really doing is it's just telling you a high level of momentum. So the candlestick will be correct always, So when it says it's going up, it's going to go up, either right then. And it's the momentum of it. How if it passes a certain level of momentum, then it's the alarm goes off and says, jump on, they're going your way. And these are the orange and blue. You can just see how accurate that was. Look at that, And then it's getting the buy-sell oscillator is giving it it's contradicting it. So it's just, depends on. I get tired of hearing the alarm all the time. I guess you could turn that off. So I don't put it up all the time, because I use the scalping indicator mostly to judge momentum, but this is another way to do it. And then it'll tell you, up here, it actually has a label, which is kind of cool too. So that's another indicator you might want to consider. All those are available on where I just showed you. But the lesson that we were trying to learn today was to understand your indicators. Now, the other one that I had up here was, I don't know where it went, but was the half and whole dollar here. Why is that not here? Oh, it's over here because we're out of the price of it. So now this one's pretty cool. What this will do is on every half and whole dollar, it's going to make a line. So some people might find that too busy. But when you zoom in on price action, it's not too busy, guys. It's out of your way to read this, right? And why would you want these marked? Now, you can mark these yourself. You'd have to mark them for every stock that you trade and every day that you trade them, right? But I mean, you can mark them, but this does it automatically. And this is where the crowd trades, is because a lot of people go in at the 50 cent or the $1 or go out at even dollar, half dollar. So having these as one more way to trade is good. Also, you want to know those candlestick patterns. This is a tweezer move telling you this is going to go down. Know your patterns. Like it broke through the half dollar, but it said it was going to go down. And it's coming up to the top of the next one I'm about to talk about, which is the market magnet. And the market magnet this is the center line where most of the action is. And then it's set at a 50% range. So you'll see red arrows down here somewhere. Yeah, here's the red arrows. And they're going to kind of tell you when price action should turn around. So this is kind of telling you you're getting at the top, like be aware this is going to turn around. So all these indicators, you practice with them and they all help each other. Every little bit gives you an edge. And now the market magnet you can get with labels too. It gets to be a point where the $1 Million Margin Club offers all the different versions, light or dark screen, whatever it is, and then with or without labels, depending on what you want. It just gets too crowded. When you get good at just reading the action, you don't need all the labels up there. So I think I talked to you about knowing your indicators. I talked about all the ones that I use to help me scalp successfully. Buy, sell, market magnet. Yep. Okay. So that was the end of that lesson. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Let me just get this adjusted before we move on here. Obviously, we're on the end of a Friday here, so sorry, I can't help it. I gotta get it so it looks better. So now we're gonna go on to was that 8? Yeah, that was 8. Sorry, let me just remember. Now we're going to 9. We're almost there. 9, source materials. Read best-selling strategy guides like those in the description video. So I'll have under the more on this video all the books I showed you. I'm not going to show you all the books again, but some of the other, you want to, I think number 10 rule is going to be similar to this. But basically the rule number 10 is figure out your strategy, learn your strategy, keep learning, stay inquisitive, and like I always say, go green. But source materials, read best-selling strategy guides like those in the description of this video. So those are the ones I believe in, but that doesn't mean that's all you need to read. You should just keep reading and keep learning and support other YouTubers and other writers, particularly authors, and whatever it takes. I'm supportive whatever it takes for you to make a living, because that's what this whole channel, Day Trading for Success, is about. You make $100 a day, $200 a day, $300 a day, $500. If you're still here, and I hope you are, there's more stuff to come here. So, but that's what our goal is, and that's what really the cut of my jib is. That's what makes me happy, being a former sailor. So remember that, and then we'll go on to number 10, which is watch the trading demonstration videos on this channel. Obviously, it helps me if you watch the videos here, but I make these videos for a reason, to help you, and it's not just like shamelessly promoting. So let me go into a couple things. Like, here are some episodes that I would recommend. The 5-minute layout, the 1-minute layout to predict the direction of the market, another scalping layout. This is a simulator layout. 50 trading videos I recommend. The scalping indicator, like more details about how to use that. I don't know what this is exactly with this title, but it's something cool that you should watch. This is about a rating system here. 10 custom scripts here for free. Right now, this is a more recent one, season 13, episode 2, where we have 7 scripts on here that you don't need to review a book to get. You just get them right there. And remember what I said before, highlight. Don't just click on the link. I think it says it right above those, because then you're going to say your scripts don't work. It says they're broken. They're not broken. You have to load them correctly. So you highlight, go to your setup, go into shared item, and then push Control V, and then they come inside here. This one's a good video too, because it shows you how to build your own layout from scratch on Thinkorswim here. And then, this is all about trading breakout strategies successfully. So these are really good videos in your trading journey, but obviously wherever you pick your sources of information, you need to learn stuff. You need to keep learning. And then here are the playlists here on this channel, all the way back from the beginning when I first started, how to speed up your platform on your computer, all the tricks I used to do that. Which is really, don't just assume you know them. There's some weird stuff on this. This is only 3 episodes that are left that weren't taken down from this original season, but I pretty much repeated them. But these playlists will have kind of focus on what it's saying here. And then there's more here too. So that's another way to kind of find them on this channel. So, but again, what this Rule 10 is basically you learning by watching demonstration videos. And I would like you to watch them here, but you need to watch them somewhere. You need to continue your education in any way you can. So those are the 10 most important things, guys. I hope that really was helpful. I am a professional trader, and this is the things that I've learned to become successful, and it takes a journey. Don't be too hard on yourself if you're having trouble. Figure 2 to 4 years, somewhere in there, before you turn the corner. Really depends on your personality. It doesn't, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you can't control yourself and follow your day trading plan, you will continually slam your head against the wall and lose money, or, never really make money. You kind of break an even, which a lot of traders do for a long period of time. And then they suddenly have a breakthrough. And I will be doing more videos about when that breakthrough might come and how it can come. But I think if you follow these 10 rules, and obviously you can go into a lot of nuances of each rule, and it's a little bit different for everybody. But I would strongly recommend using them as a guideline to follow. And just be careful out there, guys. Always stay inquisitive. And like I always say, go green. All right. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon. Look for my latest video coming out soon.